In a small village surrounded by dense forests, there stood an old mansion known as the House of Whispers. The villagers avoided approaching it, especially at night, as it was said that those who entered never returned. The legend spoke of an ancient owner who had mysteriously disappeared, leaving his spirit trapped within the walls of the house. One night, a group of adventurous young people decided to challenge the superstition and explore the mansion. Armed with flashlights and a recorder, they ventured inside, laughing and joking, unaware that darkness was watching them. The door creaked ominously as it closed behind them, as if the house itself were sealing off the entrance to the outside world. As they wandered through the dusty hallways, they began to hear faint whispers that seemed to come from the walls. "It's just the wind," one of them said, trying to stay calm. However, the whispers intensified, forming unintelligible words that resonated in their ears, wrapping the atmosphere in a shroud of unease. In the main hall, they found an old piano covered in cobwebs. One of the boys, driven by curiosity, decided to play a few notes. Instantly, the lights flickered, and the piano began to play by itself, creating a melancholic melody that seemed to tell a story of sadness and despair. The whispers grew clearer, forming a chorus that accompanied the music, filling the space with a ghostly echo. Perplexed, the young people looked at each other, but curiosity urged them to keep exploring. They climbed the creaking stairs, feeling as if something was following them. In the hallway on the second floor, they found a door slightly ajar. When they pushed it open, they entered a room filled with old portraits. The gazes of the framed faces seemed to follow them, full of sorrow and reproach. One of the girls, drawn to a particular painting, approached. It was the image of a woman with a piercing gaze, seemingly pleading for help. At that moment, a loud bang echoed through the house, and the door slammed shut behind them. The group, now trapped, felt the atmosphere grow heavy, as if the house itself were breathing against them. Desperate, they tried to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. The whispers turned into sharp screams, crying for release. "We have to get out!" one of them shouted, but fear paralyzed them. Just when it seemed all was lost, a flash of light illuminated the hallway, revealing a dark shadow approaching slowly, carrying an air of desperation. The figure stopped in front of them, and the young people could distinguish her. It was the woman from the painting, with a desolate expression and eyes reflecting centuries of suffering. "Help me escape," she whispered, her voice choked with pain. Without fully understanding, the kids felt an overwhelming impulse to help her, even though they knew there was a price to pay. They formed a circle around her, holding hands. Focusing, they began to murmur words of encouragement. The figure smiled weakly, and for a moment, the whispers ceased. The house seemed to vibrate, and a chilling wind swept through the room. Suddenly, a burst of light filled the place, and the woman vanished in a cloud of shimmering dust, taking with her the screams and fears that had invaded the mansion. When they opened their eyes, the young people found themselves back in the foyer, the front door wide open. They ran outside, feeling a tremendous weight lift from their hearts. The House of Whispers had regained its silence, and although they escaped with their lives, they knew they had freed a trapped soul, and that somewhere her story would continue to be told among the whispers of the wind.